If you're a real estate agent, this is going to be one of the coolest AI tricks you've ever seen. Now, a lot of agents send out snazzy housing market reports to clients every month or more often. And many actually pay a subscription cost to get these reports done for them so they can send it out. So this is going to show you how you can create stunning, very cool, highly informative housing market reports for almost no cost. I'm going to step you through the entire process, including where you can get the data. Now, if you're outside of the United States, the data is not going to help you because it's all US data that I'm accessing. But if you get your own data for your own country, then you can just keep watching and I'll show you how it gets converted into a cool market report. So I like to use Zillow housing data. Redfin has housing data. I think Realtor.com has housing data. I've used them all. I found the Zillow housing data the easiest to use. And there's tons of different reports you can download. Now these download in a CSV. My favorite is the home values. I download this every month. And on the 16th of each month, we get it updated. So in 2 days, today is August 14, on August 16, we will get updated for July, and I will go ahead and I will download some of the reports, and that's what I use to publish a pile of housing market data on homestratosphere.com, which I do monthly. And I can tell you this, people find this stuff really interesting. They're going to like it. This is really good content. You can take this data and use it for blog posts. You can use it for little reels. You get imaginative. It's really good data. I mean, it doesn't get any better than from Zillow, really. Now, we've got tons of reports. We've got the home value, which is my favorite, and you can break it down by number of bedrooms of the houses, condos, etc. And then we've got just quickly rentals, rental forecasts, sales, days on market, price cuts. You could sit and create report after report after report after if you really wanted to. You can also delegate this to people. Just show them this video and say, I need you to do this every month. Anyways, there's a ton here. Okay, now one of my favorites is, as I said, the home value data, and I like it for the city. Okay, that's what you can do. County. You look at all this stuff you can get, and it's all free, and you can use it. So how does it download? It downloads as a large CSV. Now, some of them aren't too large. It depends on the type of report, but I can tell you the city report for all homes, for the home values, it's an enormous report. It's over 100 megabytes. Now, you probably have no clue what that means. Practically what it means is it's too big to upload into AI to work with, and it's too big to upload into Google Sheets. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to pare it down. And I figured out how to do that, and this is what I've been doing for quite some time, is this is a pared down version of home value data for June for all the towns. Now, how many towns does Zillow cover? 21,490. So chances are, if you're a real estate agent in the US, your town is in here. And you can also get, you can also break it down even further, by zip or county and so forth as well. But I think towns is really useful. And so what I do, when you get the report, and I'm not going to show you it here, but it will have every month, all the way back to 2000. So what I do is I go back to 2010, but I only do the month. You can see here 2012 for June, 2013 June. I only do it for the month, the most current month that I'm working with, because that's only the real data I need. And chances are that's all you need. And by getting rid of all the other months, and there's a bunch of other columns here that I don't really need, and that way it comes into well under the 85 megabyte limit in terms of updating or uploading to Google Sheets as well as Claude. Okay, so we do that. You get this, you download this as a CSV, and then we go to Claude.ai. And this is where the magic happens. You can upload, all you do is just drag a CSV straight into here and it'll work from it. But I'm going to show you how you can actually do this so that it's basically takes a minute or two every month to punch out this pretty snazzy looking report. Now, you're probably thinking, a little bit orange. Yeah, it's because I was playing around with the different colors. It wasn't the original. I'll show you the original color, which is a little nicer. And if I can find it, you can see this is one chat, and here we go. Okay, you just clear. So it's cool because Claude will keep previous versions all in the chat. So if you don't like a new one, you can always go back and be like, okay, that's the one I want. So you can see this. This is built for the home stratosphere site in terms of the blues and the colors and so forth. So you can see here, we've got a lot of housing data from Zillow, but I also incorporated US Census data, which Claude will be able to access without you uploading CSVs. Now, if you do have census data in the CSV format, you can upload that as well, but it can access it through the US government census site and can pull out the data. So you can see here, most of the information focuses on the actual housing market, but just to give it some context that your clients might appreciate, we get some demographics info, we get some racial, ethnic composition info, employment industry. This may be more than you want to include. Maybe it may not be enough. Maybe you have school data you want to include. Maybe you want to make this 30 pages. You get enough data sources, you can do that. All right, you could add the rental reports in here. You could add the sales forecast report. You can create one monster months report. It's going to really make you look like a rock star, like you're really on top of this stuff. And it takes seconds. And in fact, I will do live. I will make a change to this, and you'll see it live how quickly it does this. All right, but we don't want to reinvent the wheel every month with the prompt and all that. We want this to be perfect each time in minutes, okay? But the first time you do is going to take a little bit of work, but I will provide in the YouTube description the prompt I use to create it. So what you want to do is you want to go to Claude and you want to get an account where you can create a project. Claude is reasonably priced. I think it's like you can get the pro version for $24 a month. Like for how much I use this, it's just unbelievable. All right, so I got all these projects. What a project is it allows you to add umbrella instructions that will be applied to everything you do. And this is super handy because it saves you having to do this over and over and over every time you do a report. You can even upload a sample reports for it to work from. So if you have a perfect layout, the perfect design, and the perfect colors and all that, you just upload it here as a PDF. I did a text document, long story, but you can add it here. You just, that is the template it works from. All right. So what kind of instructions are good? I don't want to go through all this, but I talk about Zillow. I talk about research enhancement, which is US Census data. And I go on the structure and I go on the design requirements. So I got this all broken. You can have this. And you know what? I didn't come up with this prompt. Once I had a design that I really liked that I worked on, and that did take a little bit. Your first one will take a little bit, well, unless you use mine exactly as is. That'll save you a lot of time. But the first time took a little bit. Once I had it dialed in perfectly, I said to Claude, now create a Claude project instructions for it. And this is what it produced. I mean, so simple, right? I just love this stuff. It's just so great. All right, so we got these market reports. We go here. This is the sample Mobile, Alabama that I did. And we come down here. It takes a little bit to learn where you're going to be able to access the report, but you got to look for these boxes. Then boom, we got a box right here. There's the original. Now let's say we want to turn this into, what's a good color? Green. Change the primary color to green. Now, if you know your primary color in a hex format from your website or something, you want to be consistent in your marketing materials, use hex. A hex is a color, it's a 6-digit number. I don't know if this is green. I'm just throwing in numbers here. I don't have them all memorized. But you can take your website developer will know this, but you can just say green if you want, but whatever. We're just gonna say green for this purpose. I do recommend you put in the proper color so it will match all your marketing materials. So we're gonna change this to green and we hit here. The other thing is you definitely want to get Claude Sonnet 4. That's the latest and it's excellent. Then boom, we click that. And it's going to start coding. And you're going to see it code right here. There we go. It's going to start making changes. All right, now you don't have to worry about if you don't understand code, because I'm going to show you how to convert what you see here into a PDF for free. So this is happening in real time. It's just going through. It's not changing any of the content of the report. I could have done that. I don't want to do that. I just want to show you, just for demonstration's sake, how you can on the fly make minor adjustments in a minute or two. So it's doing that. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you how to convert this once you have it into an HTML. I'm just going to wait for this to finish here. We're almost there. You probably don't want to see everything. I'll just pause until this is over. There we go. It's looking good. It's even provides us the hex colors it provided. It kind of chose on its own. And if you really like them, then you can include those in your project instructions. All right, it tells us what it did, blah, blah, blah. And we basically got the same report, but now we got a green focus. Again, anything in this report can be changed with a simple little instruction. Treat Claude as if you have a tutor or a teacher or somebody sitting right next to you. And if you're going to ask it, oh, how do I do this? Or can you do this? Just type it in here, layman's terms, and it will do it. Might take a couple of times, but it will do it. All right, so we got the snazzy report, and we've got a whole bunch of code here that most people are never going to have a clue. So how do you actually use this? Well, it's pretty simple. We're going to download this as HTML. It's our only option. I wish Claude would do PDF, but it doesn't. So we're downloading that as an HTML. Then what we need to do is we go to our HTML to PDF. Now it's the Sejda site. Now there's tons of these file converter sites out there that are free. I've tried 6 or 7 that show up on, I just basically ask for HTML PDF converter free, and I've tried them pretty much all on the first page of Google. This is the best one, and let's just quickly show how we can do this here. All right, I uploaded the HTML. I downloaded the HTML. It's a file, okay? And in fact, interestingly enough, we can open that. See, I opened the HTML report, and it created a URL. Okay, and if you prefer, you could provide this to your clients this way, but it's a little bit clumsy in my view. I prefer the PDF style. But anyways, you could do this. So we're going to convert this to a PDF. Doesn't take too long. And voila, we have a PDF. Now, what's interesting about this particular converter is it's all in one page. Others will break it up into pages. You might want to do that. In fact, if you don't like the one long PDF version, you could find a PDF page split up tool and do that. I don't mind this. I actually find this is pretty nice for people to just scroll through. Now you can upload this to your website. You can send this as an email. You can do whatever. You can print it. You can do whatever it is you want. But it's nice. You get a preview here before you want to print it. And I found typically this particular Sejda.com does a really nice job. So we just download this right there, and it will download. And here we are. Here's our PDF, and I'm moving it all over the screen on you. Okay, this is the PDF. This is the report. Now, before you send this, I would recommend that you send it to yourself as an email attachment and read it on your phone. I strongly recommend always reading your own marketing materials on a phone, because that's how most people are going to consume it. And you want to make sure that's big enough. You may have to go back to Claude and be like, I need this so that in a PDF conversion, it will be big enough to read easily on a mobile device, something like that. All right, and I've done that. In fact, I had to tweak this report to get it mobile friendly as well. So anyways, there's our PDF. This is our report. You can crank these out all day long. Show this video to an assistant or a freelancer or somebody, and they can create these. And you could send out a report every week, once a month. Just keep in mind that the Zillow data updates once a month, but there's so much data there, it's fodder for really almost an unlimited number of reports. Now I'm sleeves rolled up, neck deep in Zillow data. Almost every day of the week is publish a lot of that content on Home Stratosphere. That's sort of what I do. And really the other side of what's going on there is really working with AI and trying to figure out how to present and create really cool content with AI and good housing data information. Thanks for watching.